So in the middle of one of the craziest months of my life, I tried to do one thing that seemed impossible, which was actually keep up with my Quran memorization. You see, I had just started a new job in tech. And on top of that, I was still finishing up a last class I had in school. And I felt like I was drilling so many things. And one of the last things in my mind was, okay, I got to memorize new pages. And I was trying super hard to stay consistent, but there's like a whole different feeling that comes when you feel overwhelmed. Like you honestly just forget about memorizing. It really wasn't until later in the week or maybe even in the day where before I'd go to sleep, I'd reflect and I'd realize I literally didn't memorize or revise anything. I didn't even open the Quran yet. And you see, in this situation, most people would put memorization on hold, but I had to stop in my head that like every day I don't memorize is just taking even longer for me to complete this hifz. And on top of that, every day you don't memorize, you're kind of losing that habit, that momentum, that rhythm of memorizing. And you never know, you could potentially just fall off the journey entirely without even like fully realizing. And this actually happened to one of our brothers in our school community where they mentioned they memorized up to 4 or 5 juz and then just life got to them and they forgot it all. And this isn't just like one person. This happens to a ton of people where as soon as they get hit with that responsibility, you get a job, you get kids, whatever it is, your memorization just totally runs away from you. You see, in my personal situation, I got hit with all this at one time where I had to finish this class in order to graduate. And also it was at the same time where I'm starting a whole new culture, working in tech with its new hours, new expectations, new levels of workload, especially when you're starting. It's definitely harder and you're not really getting used to it yet. And the thing is Quran memorization isn't like any other hobbies where you can just dedicate a little bit of time, but just like half consciously, not really there. And it's like a cool little fun little passion where you actually need like at least 1 hour of like cool focus to memorize a new page or to revise. And it needs to be like deep concentrated time. So I was at this point where I felt like I was getting pulled in multiple directions. Do I just like stop the hifz? What do I do? Do I just like completely go all in on the work, the responsibilities, and maybe later in the future, I'll come back to the hifz? Or I was also thinking, can I prove to myself that you can even do this like while you're busy, while you're loaded with responsibilities and expectations? Can you still actually memorize? Because the truth is there's people in history who had way worse situations than me and you, and even they completed their hifz. How can someone like me, sitting in the 21st century with all the amenities, all the technology, even someone like you who's probably in a similar situation, how can we complain like, oh, we don't got time, we don't got the motivation, energy to memorize? So essentially the solution I came to is I didn't want to memorize any new pages. I purely wanted to hold on to what I've memorized, because it's totally natural for everyone to have like ups and downs in terms of their busyness. And as soon as people get to that up point where you find yourself super busy, that's where a lot of people risk falling off, when it doesn't actually have to be that way. If you tell yourself, okay, I'm not even going to try to memorize anything new. I'm strictly going to hold on to what I memorized in the past and just revise maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour a day. Inshallah, when I'm out of this cycle, out of this like little time period, then I can start memorizing new stuff again. So then essentially what I did is then I broke my day into small like non-negotiable points where I had to revise, whether it was before work, before I went to sleep. I would literally time myself. There had to be like a 1 hour total of revision that day. And I'm not gonna lie, even some days I didn't hit that. But alhamdulillah, it allowed me to at least like hold on and not like feel discouraged when I started forgetting stuff. Because if you hit one of these points and then you get so busy to the point where you don't memorize, you don't revise, and you kind of just kick it for a week, and then you see yourself, oh, I forgot like a lot of stuff already, it becomes so discouraging, you might not even want to continue. So my advice to you is, if you're in a similar point, is don't aim for massive gains. Literally just aim to hold on to what you memorize, because inshallah, there'll be a point where you're out of this little time period and then you'll be good to keep like memorizing new stuff, inshallah. But inshallah, this was literally just to go to show you that as long as you have a system, you've created a system for yourself, that's how you actually retain Quran even during these busy periods. And inshallah, if you want like a system to be created for you, or to actually just get help while you're on this journey, even if it's like regarding tajweed and stuff like that, feel free to join our school community, because inshallah, if you join the weekly calls, we can help you there. A lot of people out there are literally just waiting for the perfect time to start memorizing, the perfect time to start the Quran journey, where I'm here to tell you there's really never a perfect time. And if we're being honest, when you're on that deathbed, you won't even be remembering the work, the school, all the projects you had. You'll really just be thinking to yourself, like, what did I actually put forward? And inshallah, this is why you want to stay and like heavily pursue this hip journey. But yeah, inshallah, that was a benefit. And if you're looking for more resources and a program for you, feel free to join our school community again. And I'll see you inside, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.